Alrighty. Let's see. All right, the stream has started. Hi, folks, to anyone watching in the audience. Let me just share this in the Discord. Hold on. Alrighty.
Sweet. Is my audio through already?
Yeah, it should be. Wait, hold on.
Well, to whoever's on right now or watching this in the future, what's up, guys? And welcome to the long-awaited Stranded with Creatures playthrough.
Yes, we are finally getting to it. Detune Paper, very sorry for the delays earlier today, but I'm glad we were finally able to make it and that we're here now, and I'm looking forward to playing the game.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's been a really long time since I've been on the channel, too.
Absolutely, it's been forever. I remember last time we played. Sorry?
That detuned. I was saying it's crazy to think that Detuned World now is almost 5 years old.
Oh man, that is crazy to think about. Yeah. I think that's the one. That's the one I played on here, right? I think I played like Detuned World Plus. Yeah. Cool.
Just Detuned World Plus. Was the specific copy.
Cool.
I'm thinking about making a retrospective on that game now that it's been so long and my style's changed so much.
That'd be cool. It would be good to look back on that. It's been forever.
I'm curious. Yeah, maybe I'll hit you up for a little recording or some of your retrospective as a player of the game.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Cool. I'm definitely going to critique a lot more things than I'm going to praise, but I think it will make for a fun video, a little comedy oriented.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, hopefully I can rectify any of those mistakes with today's game. Mm-hmm. This is Stranded with Creatures, created by Detune Paper, 2024. And we are here with Paper Computer Games, Zach himself. Let's get right into it.
Alrighty. So I've got the game over here in front of me.
There's a tiny delay for me because I'm watching the stream, but it looks like you got your cover page out.
Yep.
So that's for the most part decorative if you want to click new game with your finger, just for the sake of it. And then you can put that page off to the side and we won't be using it for the rest of the game until you pack it up.
Alrighty. Okay. Alright, let's see. We've got Tutorial Bot over here.
Yes.
Should I read what he says? Let's see.
Yeah, if you probably have a better voice for him.
Alrighty. I'll see what I can do.
I'm TutorialBot, and I'll be filling you in on the details of this game. While traveling by ship, a powerful storm appeared and knocked you into the waves. Sensing your trouble awoke me from sleep mode. I was buried in the seabed years ago in a similar incident. Luckily, the currents carried us to an uncharted island nearby. As payback for awakening me, I'll share tips on surviving this situation.
All right.
Awesome. And then now we're into the rules. If you want to skim them right now, and then I could explain as we play, or we could go through them in detail. It's your call.
Okay. I guess skimming seems fun. Hey! Since I have you here. Sorry, hold on. My microphone is collapsing.
Yeah. In the meantime, guys, while he's looking at that, everyone in the chat, how you feeling today? What are you looking forward to? I'm definitely looking forward to this whole stream. I've been very excited to do this. I played this with Yak a while back, and it was a crazy experience. We played almost the entire game.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of things have changed about the game since then. I kind of used that as a playtest because the areas where he got stuck or where there was some confusion, I've kind of refined. And I think the game now is pretty much 99% of what it's going to be, because I do go back and correct things here and there, but it's getting harder to find those errors now that it's been through so many updates, if you will.
Ah, cool. So Yak was the guinea pig. I like it.
Yes, and he suffered greatly for it.
Alrighty. Well, Yak suffered so that I can prosper. So, yeah. All right.
Have you read down to the bottom of the first page of rules?
No, let's see. So
this game, it plays very similarly to Detuned World. It's almost like a nerdier younger brother of the Detuned World games.
All right, cool. Okay,
so we have the ADS system is returning, which is kind of the main mechanic of the entire game. So if you're done with that page, there's one more page of rules, which goes into the specifics of combat. And for these rules pages, when you're done reading them, put them off to the side with your cover page because you won't really be using them.
Okay. All right.
I'll keep everything nice and organized.
All right, let me see. Normal creatures, they can be engaged in combat teams or avoided. Enemies will attack you and must be defeated to continue. Bosses will attack you. All right. Obstacles. Player menu page. You can use bait to tame them.
The carrots are making a return.
Indeed.
There's also the default bait in Detuned World.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of connections to Detuned World. Is out of curiosity, is there like are you just like reusing elements, or is there like a story connection as well?
It's funny you say that because there is a story connection, but I don't think I'm ever going to explicitly state it in this game or its sequels because essentially these games take place in sort of an analog for the Bermuda Triangle. And when I think about the Bermuda Triangle as kind of an altered part of reality where these mysteries originate from, it's almost the exact same way that I would describe the Detuned World. So it's kind of implicit that your ship, or because you'll learn later, many people get stranded here. But it's sort of implicit that this place is kind of a desolate part of the sea of the Detuned World. So that's a crazy little lore drop to just casually drop right at the start of the stream.
I just like blundered into the right place for a lore drop. Awesome.
Yeah, I would say it's essentially like a spin-off of Detuned World.
Cool. All right.
With more of a lighthearted twist and obviously a different art direction. But these games have more of kind of, like I said, like a lighthearted feel versus Detuned World, which is very dark and a little bit edgy.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Awesome. So you're looking at the combat rules now.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest difference between Detuned World and this game, and this makes all of the difference, because if you remember, the combat in Detuned World was very much just back and forth, whoever has the bigger stats wins.
Mm-hmm.
This game brings powers into the equation. And this was a concept originally floating around for Detuned World Islands. And you might notice this game is pretty much what Detuned World Islands would have been. These powers have a Q. So, for example, the sea jelly you see in the top left there, when attacked, the opposing creature loses 10d. So when this creature's being attacked, he has the opportunity to deal damage. And this is a very simple power. They're all relatively simple, but what has amazed me about this game as I developed its roster of creatures is that these simple powers can lend themselves to a insane variety of strategies and complexity. And I think that's really the coolest part of the game. So creatures can have a power when they enter combat, as you see on the right. Each stage is kind of explained. They can have a power when they're attacked or when they're attacking. And they can also have a power for when they're defeated or when they are defeating.
Interesting. So their stats are just like constantly changing. Sorry, what?
I just said those. So those are like the 5 scenarios for when a power can be used.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then down here you'll see the Titanoboa with the star next to his power. That makes the power active, and active powers must be applied every time it's possible. It'll also kind of clarify it in the description. So it says this creature gains 10A every time it attacks.
Okay.
Versus normal powers, I should mention, which are 1 use per combat.
Cool.
And then down at the bottom, Tutorial Bot chimes in. You might want to read that quote right there.
This one?
Yeah.
I've gathered more detailed combat information from my databases. Believe it or not, I actually have internet access here. Oh, hey. But allowing you to contact help would void the user agreement with my previous owner.
What?
A little funny thing to throw amongst the monotonous rules. And then here it specifies just a couple more details. I like to think most of them are pretty intuitive. Mm-hmm. If both creatures' speed are equal after entering, you flip a coin to determine who attacks first. And then this creature going first, it is now its turn, and there's a specific order of events. So the opposing creature has the chance to use its when attacked power, which gives the the creature who has been outsped, if they have this kind of power, they get a chance to use it. Mm-hmm. Next, the when attacking power is applied, and then finally damage is applied, meaning you subtract your creature's attack from the opposing creature's defense.
Okay. So, all right.
Hopefully this will all kind of become automatic after the first few battles.
Okay. All right.
Yes, and then the only other specifics to get into are creatures, when you're playing against the game, use their power at the first available opportunity, just to keep it simple. Mm-hmm. When you're playing against another player, of course, they might want to delay the use of the power because it might get stronger over time or be useful right at the last second, etc. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that needs to be discussed. And if you read the bottom right,
I'll provide you with bait from my I'll provide you with bait from my personal stash until you complete level 1. Notify me if you run out.
All right, so
you pick up 5 bait, and I see you're on the right page now. You have a little inventory down there where you can keep track of this.
Oh, hey, sweet.
And before we write anything down, let's get organized. So if you look in the top corner of your player menu page, it'll say A1. Mm-hmm. And there's the corner of every page has A in a number and B in a number. And what that basically means is you make 2 stacks. One of them is kind of your menu pages where you're going to be writing stuff down. And then one of them is the levels that you're playing through. And then you just keep those stacks next to each other. And it'll keep it very straightforward.
Okay. I realize I don't have a pencil. Let me be right back and grab one.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wait. Should I use a pencil or a pen?
Pencil's best because you're going to be erasing. And you also are going to want a blank piece of paper to use for your extra creatures.
Okay. Be right back.
I'll be right back, too. I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Okay. All right, so I'm back. I guess I'll chill here until D-Tune Paper gets back as well. Anyone there in chat? How you guys doing?
I've returned.
Aha, welcome back. All right, I've gotten a
All right,
pencil.
Sweet.
Okay, so you were saying that the A1 and the A2, like the 2 A's go together, basically?
You just make a little, there's 3 A pages, so you're just going to make a little A stack and keep that on your writing hand side, and then you'll make a B stack and keep that on your non-writing hand side.
Okay.
I realized, actually, a bit of a design flaw. Because I'm left-handed, I made the menu pages the A pile, because it makes sense to have A on the left, B on the right. But it actually would probably be better for the players if it was flipped.
Hey, well, either way it works.
Yeah, one of the nice things, actually, and part of what's gotten me back into paper games is I've kind of been trying to let go of my perfectionism, because I realize you can always just update a game later and then put a new link.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a, important thing to recognize, methinks. All right, so
it's definitely cool, too, because the game will kind of change over time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is fun to let Yeah, it's fun to let a game evolve over time. That's something I've been thinking about too. Is something like I should do with my games as well, let them update and evolve. But anyway, all right. So I've got my 2 stacks.
Sweet. So now, remember, Tutorial Bot gave you 5 bait, so you can add that to your inventory.
Okay.
And you also, right now, would want to fill out your little character creation. So there's your name, your start date. You can also, doodle on the little sprite, maybe give him a hat, whatever you want to do to personalize him a bit.
All right.
One of the things that was cool, I saw Flamespot play this game. Shout out Flamespot. And he named one of his creatures the Boss Slayer, and he was also using a minifigure to keep track of his spot. So that's one of my favorite things about paper games, is how even in a structured one like this, you can still take those liberties just with how you play it. So if there's anything that you want to add to the experience or change up, just feel free to do so.
Cool. All right. Let's see, what's my name gonna be? I don't know. I'm gonna call myself Bill, I guess. And do I want to give myself a hat or anything? I am short on ideas at the moment, but can I come back and customize him later as the game progresses?
Of course.
All right, cool.
Of course.
The start date is that's and the. Then, sorry, this start.
Yeah, today's the 3rd.
Okay, cool. So that's. $5,325. Challenges, do I just leave that blank?
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
So, after that, we are ready to hop into the actual game.
All right, let's do it. So, we
find ourselves on level 1.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself washed up on the shore of a strange island, and you need to make it to the end of the level, of course, because you want to explore this strange island that you've been stranded on. But you're going to need to tame some creatures, because there's an enemy and a boss that you'll have to defeat.
Okay. So, how does this work? Do I just have to, pick one of these and start a fight with it, or what?
Well, firstly, you'll need to tame a creature. So if you look, Siege Jelly's pretty much the only choice, because small fish doesn't have a power. It's essentially useless. But that Sea Jelly there does have a power, and you'll see once you tame one, it'll serve you well. This level is sort of a tutorial.
Okay. So how do I tame it?
To tame it, you can look over on your player menu. It tells you how to use all the items. The bait, erase this item to tame a creature. Flip a coin. If heads, add the creature to your collection, basically. And then there are some more specifications about different types of creatures, but that doesn't matter for now.
Okay, so I don't have a coin handy. Can I use an online?
That this would happen, and I have a coin and a die ready, because this happened when we played D-Tune World.
Ah, perfect. All right.
Yeah, so I can keep track of that.
All right,
We're using a bait. And heads, first try.
Oh, sweet. All right, so let me erase
So
one of
now
my
you
baits.
you've tamed your first creature. You can add Sea Jelly's information to your group, or if you have a blank piece of paper, you can use that for your various creatures as your main group goes on this page.
Okay.
But whatever you want to do. A lot of people, when they're first playing, will use this page just to kind of keep everything organized.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll do that for now. All right. So you just transcribe everything from Sea Jelly onto here?
Yeah, and you also can simplify things. Like, for example, its power says the opposing creature loses 10d. You could just write opponent or like OP minus 10d if you want to just not copy and erase a bunch of things. I often do that.
Okay.
But whatever will aid you the most, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I take a lot of liberties when playing this game to make it quicker.
Yeah.
A little bit more stimulating.
Loses 10d. All right. And he's got 15, 20, and 5.
Yeah, and then you can copy a little sketch. I imagine that these little tiles that you draw in the creature in is kind of like a little platform that its model floats on.
Okay.
You can draw him in that square.
Okay.
And now you have successfully tamed your first creature. So you're well on your way to surviving this dilemma.
Alrighty. Fantastic.
So these creatures, sea jelly and small fish, are normal creatures. So you can tame them, engage them in combat, or ignore them altogether. So looking down the pathway of the level, small fish can be completely avoided, but these flamingus here will attack you.
Okay. And so
And another a cool little detail here is if you look at the artwork for the level, you can actually see 3 flamingus flying off into the distance.
Ah, nice.
And in the rules, when it says that creatures can spawn in groups of 3, it is a group of flamingus, so you can tell that they just left this one behind.
This poor guy.
I like those fun little details. I'll definitely point those out as they show up.
Cool. This poor guy, he got left behind, and now I'm gonna beat him up.
With a meager jellyfish.
Yes. I mean, I'm.
All right.
Maybe I shouldn't be overconfident. I'm hopefully gonna beat him up. Let's see how that goes.
I won't spoil anything.
Okay. I will.
All right, so Flamingus engages you in combat. He comes running at you from, I imagine, the top of one of these sand dunes, kind of just like a giant flamingo, and he attacks. So now you've entered combat. Sea Jelly's your only creature, so it is Sea Jelly versus Flamingus.
Okay. So Flamingus is attacking?
Looking at the stats, Flamingus has higher speed, so he will be attacking first. But if you remember sort of the order of priority, you will first be able to use your when attacked power right now.
Okay, right. Yeah, the
So
order of
Flamingus-
priority was when attacked. Wait, hold on. Where's the
This once it's committed to memory, it'll just be there. But yeah, it goes when attacked, when attacking, and then damage.
Okay. I'm gonna keep this rules page out so I can glance at it, at least for the beginning.
Of course.
Okay.
And also, the stream's a little bit delayed, but it looks like all I see right now is your player menu page with the level off to the side.
There we go.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, let's see. Okay, so he's attacking, so I have a when attacked power. So first, my when attacked power applies, right?
Yes, and it brings him down to 10 defense.
Okay. So
and now it is your turn to attack.
Okay, so wait, so how does that work? He attacks, but while he's attacking, my power applies.
You are first able to use a when attacked power.
Okay. And that's okay. So, but damage that he does from attacking me, that doesn't apply until the damage step.
It applies after you've applied your power.
Okay. All right. So he loses 10D, and then now it's my turn to attack. So then,
yes, you also lost 15D because his attack goes through after, and you are at 5 defense. But that doesn't matter because you now have the ability to take him out.
Okay. So then I will attack, I guess.
And there you go. Simple as that. You've defeated the Flamingus. He's been poisoned to death, I imagine, by the sea jelly.
Oh.
And you are now able to continue through the level.
Alrighty. So, question. So, is this like Pokemon in that, like, when you fight enemies, when you fight enemies, you can capture them afterwards, or is it just like if an enemy is an enemy, you just can't tame them at all?
So you can tame every creature in the game. If you look at your player menu page, it describes how to use each item. So it tells you under bait that enemy and boss creatures can't be tamed until you've completed the level where they spawn. And this is how, of course, you keep the player from just taming the boss creature rather than defeating it.
I see.
And so, yeah. So for right now, you can only tame sea jelly or small fish, but your availability for creatures exponentially increases with each level.
Okay.
So there is a bit of a puzzle coming up, but it's I think you will get it. There's also some items for you to pick up.
Okay. So, do I have to is that after this, or right now do I just have to fight the crustacean?
No, because levels are played from left to right, so each sort of event within the level occurs in that order.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a very linear game, which the sequel is going to change up for the better, but for now, this is definitely a linear path.
Okay. So, so in that case, so left to right, we got sea jelly, ignored small fish, fought flamingus, and now we have these two, like, bombs?
Yeah, and so you can add those to your inventory, and I don't want to explain every item as we come across them. I think it would be cooler for you to read the description and then kind of react to it in more of like a candid way.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Erase this item to destroy an obstacle, or erase this item to lower an opposing creature's defense by 20 before combat. Only one bomb can be used before combat. Okay.
So it has 2 uses, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. Okay, so we got bombs, and now I guess the next thing is to fight the Crustacean Lord.
Yes, and I should specify this. It does say this in the rules, but we didn't go through every single thing specifically. Mm-hmm. Since your sea jelly survived combat, his stats are restored. You don't need to heal a creature. You don't need to keep track of their wounds, basically. Just to make it simple, if it survives combat, it moves on with restored ADS. If it's defeated, it cannot enter combat until you finish the level or restart. And you will inevitably have to restart, I should say, because the game picks up in difficulty.
Okay, cool. All right, I will, let's fight the Crustacean Lord. And so his speed is 15, and mine is 5, so I guess he attacks first?
Uh-huh.
And, but my when attacked power applies first.
Yeah.
Okay, so he loses 10 defense, so he's down to 20.
Yeah.
So wait, by the way, defense, is that, like, is that like, HP normally?
It's basically like what HP would be in another game, but I think that ADS just has such a better ring to it than like AHS.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, cool.
Also, AHS, I think, is some sort of like healthcare organization, so that would also bum me out.
Yeah, for sure.
But I love I love the tone of ADS. It is a little bit weird calling it defense, but I think it also, it's a bit synonymous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of defense, yours is well under 0 because Crustacean Lord just completely KO'd your Sea Jelly, so you're going to need to try another strategy.
Ooh. So how does that work? If you get KO'd, do you have to start over?
There's no specific condition, but if you read the rules, in order to continue, you have to defeat every creature. So essentially, you're just stuck here, and you would have to restart.
Okay.
And one thing I will say, too, now that we've restarted the level, since you'll come across that Flamingus again, and everything is restored when you start a level, you know that you're guaranteed to defeat that Flamingus. So you can essentially fast forward through the combat, because it will occur exactly the same as it did last time.
Okay. But there's not a whole lot I can do differently this time, right? I guess I can use...
You will need to try something differently facing the Crustacean Lord. And there are 2 ways that you can solve this puzzle. I will say that.
Okay. So let's see.
One of them is really cool and kind of technical. One of them is more on the nose, but also cool.
Interesting.
And I would say throughout the game, of course, the pathway is very linear, so the challenge for you as the player and the puzzles are going to come from your selection of creatures, your usage of items, and that's pretty much it. But within those parameters, right now there's not a lot of choice, but there will be a tremendous amount of choice as it goes on, and I'm very excited to see what path you take, because there's so many branches.
Okay.
Quantum stranded with creatures.
Yes. Superposition of possibilities.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so we have a bait, which isn't gonna do a whole lot right now, and we have bomb. So bomb. Erase this item to lower an opposing creature's D by 20 before combat. Okay, so I can use only 1 before combat, right? Yeah, it says that.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I use it before, don't I just win then? If I use 1 bomb and my creature's power, when attacked, opposing creature loses 10D, and so that's 30.
Precisely.
Aha.
I will say, because you figured out the easier strategy, if you notice, there are 2 Sea Jelly at the start of this level, and that is for a very specific reason.
Oh.
Because then, of course, or actually, you would need to tame 3. You would have to restart the level, but if you wanted to be an absolute maniac, you could tame 3 Sea Jelly and just have them all suicide with that power and then defeat him that way.
So wait, how does that work? You're saying if I tame 3 Sea Jelly, so if I restart the level, I keep
each one with them. Yeah, if you restarted and tamed 3, then each one would have a chance to use its power, which would equal 30 defense. So it would be ridiculous, but there are technically 2 ways to beat this boss.
So can I... so when I restart a level, I keep the creatures I caught already?
Yes, they are part of your collection for the extent of the game.
So can I then just is there anything to stop me from just restarting an infinite number of times and catching an infinite number of Sea Jellies?
No, that's really cool that you say that, because right now, at this point in the game, Tutorial Bot will give you 5 baits. This is no longer valid once you complete level 1, but you could just tame infinite Sea Jellies. That is a possibility of this game.
Oh, man.
I love that you pointed that out, because I never even thought about that, because I'm just thinking okay, how is the player going to get to the next level? But yeah, you could do some hilarious stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like the idea of just conquering everything with my army of infinite sea jellies.
Well, the thing is, though, you can only ever enter a level with a group of 3 creatures, so it would be pointless after that.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
But and you will be creating many different groups. So the group is not a static thing. You'll go into different levels, and before you enter one later on, you'll think, okay, what creatures am I going to want for this? And you'll eyeball it, hopefully, instead of planning everything. I like when the player kind of estimates what they'll do, and then you'll create different groups, which is a lot of where the fun of the game comes from, because you're kind of preparing for this expedition, arranging your little group of creatures, and then taking it on.
I see. That's cool. Okay.
So anyways, let's face off against that crustacean lord and kill that crab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So, all right, I used my bomb, and I used my power, and he's dead, right?
So just to run through it step by step for the viewers, he approaches the crustacean lord, throws that bomb at it to catch it off guard. It explodes. Crustacean lord will now start the battle with 10 defense. The battle begins. Crustacean lord outspeeds Sea Jelly, but that doesn't really matter because Sea Jelly, when attacked, the opposing creature loses 10 defense. And if you remember, Crustacean lord started with 10. He is now defeated, and you can walk right up to the finish line, that X, and you've completed level 1.
Huzzah! Alrighty.
So that, if that felt like you were really kept on the rails, that's because that level is kind of a tutorial. Mm-hmm. And as we move forward, there will be a lot more freedom. So don't get disappointed yet.
Okay.
And now you can cross off level 1 on your player menu page to keep track of your progress. A little bit of fulfillment there. And then you can continue onward.
All right. So, question: Is there gonna be like, are your creatures gonna like level up later? Because like
no. So that's an interesting thing about this game. Mm-hmm. There's a pill item if you check out your player menu page. There's a pill item which can permanently increase a stat by 5. So there's not a consistent progression for your creatures getting stronger. And this is done for the sake of simplicity and also balance. Mm-hmm. Because essentially, while the creatures will get stronger, you'll be able to tame stronger creatures versus leveling up your creatures and keeping track of all these stats. It's a lot more simple in that regard.
Okay. Alright, so, yeah, let's go to level 2.
Alright. You've climbed your way through the shore, over the tops of the dunes, and the landscape that's revealed is a large swamp. We've entered the wetlands. The ground is damp here, and fog blocks your view.
Okay. Alright, so let's see. So these are items over here on the left?
Yep.
Okay, so that's bait, and these are hearts. Okay, so... Alright, I guess I'll get 5 bait, so that brings me up to 9.
You actually had the perfect, if this was a speed run, because you tamed that sea jelly on the first try, you had a perfect run now because you got the most bait that you could possibly have at the end of that level. So having 9 bait right now is awesome.
Nice.
I've seen people just sit there and flip away all 5 bait to get another 5 and then still end up with like 1. So definitely a good RNG.
Ah, sweet. All right, and I guess I'll get 2 hearts. Now, what does heart do? Let's see. Heart, erase this item to reset a defeated creature's ADS during a level. Oh, okay. It's
So yeah, it gives you an extra life.
Yeah. Can you do that after?
Cannot use items during combat. It only is while you're exploring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this a lot of the rules are very simple because I only wanted it to be 2 pages. So things like that are kind of implied because it doesn't talk, like for example, it doesn't talk about using items in combat. So you would just kind of assume, hopefully, that you don't use them in combat.
So, but didn't you say that like after combat the ADS resets?
Yes, if the creature is not defeated. If it's defeated, it cannot enter combat for the rest of the level.
Okay, but if it is defeated, can you use a heart to revive it?
That's the point of the heart.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, okay. Cool, yeah. Alrighty, so, we've gotten our items. Now let's check out this dung bug. It does not say...
And one thing to interrupt. Now that you've completed level 1, if you remember, you are now able to go back and tame enemy or boss creatures from that level because you completed their spawn.
That's true. Do I want to tame any of these creatures? Crustacean Lord is pretty powerful.
Yeah. Chat, why are you guys so quiet?
Yeah, I don't know. They're a quiet bunch, what can I say?
Yeah, sometimes they're not, though, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I don't know. My chat has been pretty chill lately. Like I don't know that like there's been some drop off since I haven't been like streaming that regularly. It's been a while, so I don't know.
Well, either way, the 3 of you that are here, you guys are awesome.
Yes.
Stick around as we take on level 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So, let's Alright, so Dungbug is not E, so I can tame it or I can not tame it. The opposing creature can no longer use its power.
Very useful, I will say. Dungbug is awesome.
Okay, so let me look again at what bait does. Tame a creature, flip a coin. If heads, add the creature to the group or extra creature page. Enemy and boss creatures can't be tamed until you've completed the level. But once you have completed the level, it's still just using one bait, and that does it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, well, and can I go back into the previous level at any time, like even after I've started the second level? Okay.
Levels they can't be skipped, but they can be replayed, is what the rules say.
Okay.
This game is definitely an RPG in that sense, where you will be doing backtracking, collecting items and monsters and resources.
Excellent. Cool. By the way, Habelscrones is talking in chat. He says, you gotta stream regularly, and yes, you're right. And he says, could I perchance suggest we hit game Civilization by Habelscrones next stream? Perhaps. That would be cool. Okay, so I have a lot of bait. So let's just go.
That's true.
Let's just go capture Crustacean Lord, because why not?
I love Crustacean Lord. It's not the best of the boss creatures by any means, but I love his whole vibe that he's got going on.
Yeah, he is really pretty sweet. Alright, so let's erase a bait. So we're at 8. And we've got Crustacean Lord.
Oh, well, we do need to flip a coin.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Forgot.
I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you got an even, which I'm going to say is heads because I'm just rolling a die now. So you've tamed it.
Sweet. All right.
Awesome.
Crustacean Lord. It's 25.
So you've now built your collection a little bit more. Kind of have an oceanic theme going on right now.
Looks that way, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what's going to happen when I'm walking along the shore, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Power when attacking. So, like, is greater speed actually, like, a disadvantage in this game? Because, like...
It is not, but if you remember, if you have PTSD from how overpowered the speed stat was in Detuned World, the addition of powers makes it where greater speed is not always a benefit. Of course, you want to be able to attack first, but when you're up against a creature like Sea Jelly, where it has a good defensive power, in that case, it would be a disadvantage.
Right, that makes sense. Okay. So,
And like there's some creatures that benefit from just being one hit KO'd because they have an effect that helps the next creature in your group. So those creatures, of course, you want to keep their speed low.
Okay.
Awesome. So you've tamed Crustacean Lord. Are we now taking on level 2?
Yep. Do I have to fill in the whole text box?
Just if you have it committed to memory, no. But you probably don't have it committed to memory yet because, unlike me, you haven't spent like hundreds of hours looking at each of these creatures. So I would probably write it in.
All right. I can just like reference it. It's the stats are right there, right?
Yeah, but you do turn pages and stuff, so it's nice to have it written down.
Okay.
It also kind of solidifies that you've added that creature to your collection. And doing the little drawing, I think, is part of the fun because you're sort of...
Yeah.
You see that creature in your group.
Indeed. Except that mine looks like 50 times worse than yours. But
the stream's delayed. I can't see it yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. All right.
There is, by the way, there's music for this game if you want to have that in the background.
Sure.
The one thing that is kind of lame of me is that I made the soundtrack one long video as opposed to a playlist. So the playing the specific music for each scene isn't really possible without clicking around a bunch. But if you just have it playing in the background, most of the music fits most of the scenarios. So
that works. Let me see if I can find that. Soundtrack. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you listened to this yet?
Only a little bit. I think I listened to the main theme and then didn't have time to continue since I was at work. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's definitely leagues above the music I used to make because I've been very into that for the past few years. So
that's
that'll
awesome.
definitely help the character of these paper games that I'm making.
Totally.
All right,
Yeah, so
sweet.
cool. Yeah, so all right, so let's see. All right, I got my Crustacean Lord. I'm going to so Dungbug, let's see if I can tame it. All right, I guess I have to flip a coin.
Yep, I'll do that.
Okay.
You rolled an odd number. You did not tame it. Would you like to use another 8?
Yep. Yeah.
Another odd number.
Oh man. All right. Let's try again.
Another odd number.
No way.
It was 515.
All right.
And now it rolled into my lap, so I'm gonna re-roll it.
Okay.
Okay, at 2, perfect.
Finally, yes. All right. So then we're down to 4 bait. Looks like. Okay. Alright, so we got our dung bug. Alright, and its ADS is 15, 45, and 10. Okay, and it's when attacked.
I love Dungbug.
Okay. The opposing creature can no longer use its power. So, How does combat with multiple creatures work? Like, if I'm fighting an enemy and I have multiple creatures in my group...
Yeah, so you can't... There's no system for switching out creatures for simplicity. You can change the order of creatures that enter. So Sea Jelly, because it's on the far left, does not mean that it needs to enter first. You can throw in any creature first, and then when that creature is defeated, your next two, you can pick the order as well.
Okay. So...
that's definitely a big part of the strategy.
Okay. So, alright, gotcha. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, we've got Hive Mind Gas over here. Let's see. Power when defeated.
Hive Mind Gas is also super cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
There's also, on the hatchery page, you can hatch a little creature called Fume, which is just one of those little gas balls isolated on his own, and his power works in conjunction with having a Hive Mind Gas in your group.
Oh, nice.
So this goes back to what I was saying about how these simple powers can actually connect in very complex ways.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's see.
This is chess. This is the chess of detune paper of the game catalog.
Okay, so opposing creature, when defeated, opposing creatures lose 15d when entering for the duration of combat. Wait, so that... Yeah. Okay, so that happens when I defeat him.
Yes, so that wouldn't really be a problem when you're just fighting one of them. It would be if it's a group. And if you have it in your group, of course, as the first creature, and you're going up against another group, then it would be super useful.
I see.
Another thing I just noticed too is Hive Mind Gas is my Discord profile picture, which is kind of funny.
Huh, is it? Let me see. Huh, so it is. I did not realize.
I guess so. This is an enemy creature, so you will have to engage it in combat.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so he doesn't really have any power worth considering. He does have, so the speed calculation that goes based on your first creature.
Based on whatever creature enters at the same time, because entering happens simultaneously, so your creature enters, this creature enters, and then you compare speed.
And which creature enters is controlled by your order? Like, if I set...
It's controlled by your choice. The order that they're written in doesn't really matter. You can choose which one to go first.
Okay, so, let's see, who has... I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll put my dung bug first.
Yeah, he will at least survive the hit.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Hive Mind Gas, you're walking through the wetlands, and then I imagine from one of those holes that you see in the side of a dead tree, you hear something buzzing in there, but it's no beehive. Uh-oh. And then out comes this cluster of these little aggressive gas balls. They're almost like ethereal piranhas coming at you with super high speed of 30. And then they all come and swarm your dung bug.
Ruh-roh. Okay. But so Hive Mind. So first we do my when attacked power, which is that the opposing creature can no longer use its power. But
if you choose to use it, that's another thing too. Is you don't have to activate your power at the first opportunity. Right now, this doesn't matter at all because you can probably see already that you'll just one-shot the Hive Mind Gas. But for the future, you can choose when to use your power.
Okay. Yeah. So, it doesn't really matter right now. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So Hive Mind Gas does what it can to deal damage to your dung bug. Gets under its skin with its toxic gases, but dung bug can kind of just swipe its legs through the air and dissipate the cloud of smoke because it has such low defense, and you've defeated the Hive Mind Gas.
Huzzah! Okay, so then I will proceed. We see this X, which I believe is an obstacle. So
yes.
I have to use a bomb to get past it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You use your bomb, blow it up.
Alrighty, and then we are faced with Titanoboa.
Yeah, so you've continued on through the swamp, and then you notice kind of a line manifesting in the mud ahead of you. And this is a huge line, bear in mind. And then out from under the mud emerges this giant boa, the Titanoboa B.
Titanoboa B. Alright.
Which creature will you lead with?
Let's see. Let me first consider what he does. He's got 50 D. Alright. Can any of my creatures survive 20 attack? Crustacean Lord can, so can Dungbug. But we also need enough attack to be able to bring him down.
I think we should just go into it with your gut feeling and not plan too much of it out, because the planning would essentially be the same thing we would be doing during the battle.
Fair enough, okay. Alright, I'll use Crustacean Lord. And so...
Alright, Crustacean Lord scuttles up.
Alright. And so Titanoboa has 10 speed and I have 15. So for once I actually attack first.
Yep, and you bring him down to 25 defense.
Mm-hmm. Also, when attacking, I get to use my power, right?
Yes, but that would actually deal less damage right now than its base attack.
Oh, okay, so I actually didn't realize that. So it's like if you use a power
that is I should have waited till now to mention that you don't have to use your power, because this is a great example of it.
Yeah. But also, okay, so when you use your power, that's like instead of attacking with damage.
If the power specifies the number of D, this is what the rules say. If the power specifies the number of D that the opposing creature loses, then you don't apply the typical damage.
Okay.
But if the power does something else, then you ignore it. Like, for example, Titanoboa's power doesn't say anything about defense, so it still deals its base attack.
Okay.
Okay.
But my power does.
As intuitive as it feels to me, but of course there's always the bias because I came up with the rules.
Yeah. Okay, so like Crustacean Lord, his power is the opposing creature loses 20d times the number of creatures in its group. So if I were to use that power, then Titanoboa doesn't have a group, does it? So he would just lose 20d, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But
so you want to just attack.
Yeah, because that's 25. Okay.
So he's down to 25 defense.
Okay. And then we take another turn?
Well, now it is Titanoboa's turn.
Mm-hmm.
And he attacks. If you look at his power, this is an active power. This creature gains 10A every time it attacks. And if you remember the order of events, you apply that first. So Titanoboa now has 30 attack.
Oof.
And he attacked your Crustacean Lord and unfortunately does just enough damage to break his shell apart and defeat him.
Oh man. Alright. So
now you choose the next creature you wish to enter.
No one can stand against my sea jelly, so I'm going to bring out my sea jelly.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
You know, sea jelly has kind of become a fan favorite, and I love that.
Okay. So, yeah, I will. Okay, so speed. Jelly has 5 speed. Okay, Titanoboa is obviously faster. So Titanoboa attacks first.
Now he attacks, he gains another 10d because it's an active power. So he now has 40 attack.
However,
you get to apply your power first, actually. I slipped up.
Yeah, so he loses 10d, but also gains 10d.
15d.
Yeah. So then he attacks and deals 15, which does not kill Sea Jelly.
Does not kill Sea Jelly.
Okay. So now it's my turn?
And now it's your turn. Yes, and you have exactly enough to defeat it.
All right. And
Awesome.
I will do so.
That went by surprisingly well.
Sweet. All right.
One thing I'm gonna stop giving so many tips for everything because I want to see sort of how you play the game. But one thing I would have done differently is I would have led with Dungbug because he can disable the power, and then Titanoboa won't be racking up more attack. Even if it didn't really matter in this case, that would be more strategic.
Yeah, that would have been the better move.
Awesome.
And so it's like can no longer use its power forever, like for the rest of the battle, even if this creature.
For the rest of the battle. Yeah, the opposing creature can no longer use its power.
Okay.
And you actually, well, before I move on, there's some items to pick up before you complete the level.
2 eggs. Yeah, those are eggs. Okay.
So this is one of the cool parts of the game is that there's a few little detours that you can take while you're playing through these levels. And so firstly, you might want to hatch those eggs, but also you've completed one of the challenges of the game, and you can check out your challenges page and check that one off.
Ooh, well, I tamed a boss creature.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, so the next challenge is defeat Hornhog using only one creature. Oh, yeah, that's fun. All right.
They can be the challenges can be done in any order, though, as it says on the top right.
Okay.
Cool.
Do I get anything for completing challenges, or is it just for fun?
If you look down to the bottom, you do get something.
Prize creature. Ooh, gold scarab. And a key.
And not just that.
Ooh.
The key.
Yeah. Access to secret levels.
There are actually 2 secret levels that are not shown on the player menu page.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, let's I've now beaten the level?
Yeah, so you could check it off, and then you could hatch those eggs right now, or we could continue.
Alright, I guess I'll hatch the eggs.
Or you can go back and tame creatures. There's as you see, there's exponentially more options opening up as you play the game. Which I'm proud of in terms of design. I hope I hope that comes through for the experience. All right, so if you turn to the hatchery page now, we can hatch those eggs.
Okay. Roll a die. The number rolled corresponds to a creature below. Add the corresponding creature to your group or extra creature page as if you'd tamed it. Okay.
I can roll for you.
Alrighty.
You got a 5, so you now have a Mini-Man in your collection.
Alright.
And now, since your main group has filled up, you can write these on your extra creature page, and then use that.
Alrighty. So let me draw the Mini-Man.
Mini-Man's a cool creature. He has a interesting ability.
Roll a die. This creature gains 10A times the number rolled. Ooh. And that's
so if you roll a 6, that can be brutal, especially if later in the game you use a pill to increase his speed up to 30. That can become very useful, albeit very luck-based.
Cool. Alright. So I get Mini-Man, and do I get another one as well, since I had 2 eggs?
Yeah, you do, if you wish to hatch it.
Sure.
Oh, you're not gonna like this, but you rolled another 5.
Oh. Alright, I guess I
So
have
you
two
can just write
mini-men.
×2 next to the mini-man. That's what I do when I have multiple of the same creature. I just do ×2 unless I'm using pills to differentiate their stats. That would be the only time that would make a difference.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So, that being the case, let's continue on to level 3. How many levels are there, by the way?
There are 7 levels of the main game, and then there will be a little credit where it says the end. And then there are 2 bonus levels and 2 secret levels beyond that. But these secret levels and bonus levels are longer than these main levels. So really, I'd say over half of the game really takes place after you beat the main 7 levels. But in total, there are 10.
Okay. So let's see. Alright, let's see. What have we got here? So we go into level 3, that's Meadow. Stone pillars mark the path. Who could have built them? Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah, so now we notice something that's, other than these, of course, strange creatures that are unknown to modern science, as is the quote, there is also some strange architecture on this island of an unknown origin.
Interesting. Alright, so let's see, we've got Katso. Opposing creature loses 25d times the number of times the creature's been attacked. Dang, that's pretty OP.
Yeah, I actually never mind, I won't say anything about that, but it can be very OP. It can be super useful.
Alright, so I will, I'll use a bait, why not?
Alright, how many of those do you have left, by the way?
We are now down to 3.
Alright. You got a even number on the first try, so you've tamed the Katso.
Woo! Alright. So we got...
Also, you're definitely playing this game the correct way by taming a lot of creatures, because some people take like the Pokemon route where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna have my 3 loyal creatures throughout the entire game, but that is definitely not the way to do it.
Yeah, especially since there's not a lot of like leveling up. Like you said, you can use a pill to increase their stats, but that's only 1 pill can be used per creature, it says. So.
Yes, yeah, it's a small buff.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, it definitely discourages that. All right.
Yeah, I would say this game it's essentially like a miniature deck building game, because the main mechanic, like it's framed with these levels and items that you pick up, but the main mechanic of the game is, okay, how am I going to build a viable group for this challenge?
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really cool about Stranded with Creatures 2 is that each level takes up a whole page, and there are branching routes with different things, tons of optional pathways and stuff. So the game will be more of an exploration alongside this same battle system.
Cool.
Which I think is going to be awesome. I'll still always have a place in my heart for this game, but I think it will make it like obsolete, at least in terms of exploration.
Nice. All right.
I think you'll appreciate this. I came up with a really cool fishing mini game where essentially there's different fish that you can catch when you find the fishing rod, inspired by a familiar RPG perhaps. And each fish next to it, there's a meter where there's white space, and then there's varying sizes of black space. And what you do is you spin your pencil in the center, and you can only spin it for 1 rotation. And if it lands in the black area, then you've caught it. So the more aggressive the fish is, or the deeper in the sea it is, the smaller that area is. So there's actually a tactile mini game.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that sounds epic.
Yeah, it would be a nice way to add more kind of like detours from just the main route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. The opposing creature loses 0D. This creature gains 30D. How is that different from just saying this creature gains 30D?
Because if it just said this creature gains 30D, then you would still be applying its attack afterwards. But because it specifies the amount of, if you remember that quirk, then that's like the amount of damage for its turn.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So then let's see. We've got Flower Trap.
Times 2, the first group of enemies that we're facing.
Ooh. Opposing creature loses 20 attack. And that's when attacking. Alright, then we've... Okay. 5 ADS. Oh, wow, nice. Okay, so... I got a Catso. And I got 2 Minimans. And... Let's see, Miniman... Alright. So for this level, can I choose my group to be Dungbug, and then my 2 Minimans?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
That's if you're planning the strategy that I think you are, that's really cool with the Minimans.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Alright, so yeah, let's have, let's see. Alright, let's have Dungbug be first. And yeah, let's fight Flower Trap.
Sweet. So yeah, you're walking along, following these strange pillars off into the distance, and then these huge flower stalks that are growing all around you. 2 of them unveil their petals to reveal that it is in fact the Flower Trap creature.
Ho ho. Alright.
And he's reaching out that vine-like arm towards you menacingly.
Alrighty.
What's up, Brad? Come to the stream.
Hey, how's it going, Rad? Okay, so...
You might want to center your page levels on it. It's a little bit off to the side.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, you keep the art front and center for the viewers.
Yeah. Okay, so I will use... Yeah, let's see. Dungbug's speed is 10, and Flower Trap is 20, so Flower Trap goes first. But Dungbug has a when attacked ability. So I get to use that ability first.
Yep.
So Flower Trap can't use his power.
Yes.
Permanently.
Yep.
Alright, so I guess then...
So you take... Yeah, you disable his power with yours. He then can't use it, so he attacks with his 30 damage and brings your Dungbug down to 15 defense.
Alright, so then when it's my turn again, I will attack him for 15.
Sweet, and then he's down to 10 defense, and he'll return the favor by swiping your Dungbug in half with his vines, and then Dungbug is now defeated.
Poor Dungbug. Okay, I will bring out my Miniman.
All right, this is exciting. This is the first time now that we've used a when entering power.
Indeed.
Assuming you want to use it, which of course you do.
I definitely do. Yes.
All right, so Miniman, I imagine that Miniman is kind of like a highly dense, unstable little molecule shaking around, and that's why his ability, roll a die, this creature gains 10 attack times the number rolled. So I'm going to roll it.
All right.
Let's say our prayers to Zuvak.
Almighty Zuvak.
You rolled, I'm glad that I did that. You rolled a 6. So Miniman now, this little shaking ball of energy just vibrates faster and faster and faster. His attack goes up to 65.
Oof.
That's what's cool about Miniman, is it has the power to be ridiculously strong.
Nice. Alright, so Miniman has 25 speed, so he actually has more speed than Flower Trap. So he can attack first, right?
He can attack first, and he defeats the Flower Trap.
Oh, alright, and we are down to 1 Flower Trap.
Yeah, so the next one enters. The flower, wanders over to you, starts swiping towards Miniman.
Alright, and so I still have more speed. Miniman still has more speed than him, right?
Yep.
So, so I can attack him again. What do we say?
And you've now swept the team.
Oh-ho! We've defeated Flower Trap.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, so, let's move on to Raptor.
Alright. I will say, also remember, your Dung Bug is defeated. His defense dropped to 0. So your Dung Bug, you'd want to use a heart on, unless you want to face Raptor with just 2 Minimen.
Nah, let's use a heart.
Alright, good choice, I will say.
Alrighty, so, yeah, alright, let's see. Dungbug has speed of 10, so Raptor goes first, but Dungbug
You're choosing to enter with Dungbug first already?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
So, Dungbug has the when attacked ability, right? So he'll use the...
But here's the thing. Raptor has a when entering ability, so his ability actually has to go off first before we even decide the turn.
Okay. So, so Raptor's ability happens first, and Dungbug loses 5 ADS.
Yes.
Okay, so that's fine. So then Dungbug's ability happens. Yeah. So then Dungbug's ability happens, and he can't use his power anymore. But that doesn't matter because he already used it.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So so Raptor gets to attack then.
Yep.
Okay. Wait. His ability says that I have to lose defense. So doesn't that count as his attack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not his attack. It's ability that happens when entering.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's different.
So that's the cool thing about those powers, is that they can sort of set the stage. So now, thanks to that ability, now he's able to one-shot your Dungbug because it has 40 defense.
All right. So much for Dungbug.
Yeah. So this is where the game's starting to amp up in difficulty. So now, let's, just for the sake of it, which Miniman are you sending in first? The first one you hatched or the second one?
The first one.
All right. If we pretend that that's the one we said it was on purpose last time, let's see if the luck continues. So, Miniman enters. Raptor still has intact stats, but Miniman is entering. We're gonna roll that die to determine how much A he gains, and he rolled another 6.
Whew. All right. And let's see. Miniman has 25 speed, so more than Raptor. Dang, Miniman's a beast. All right.
Yeah. He can be a beast. If you roll high, he's a beast.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Here's a really cool thing about this too. there's a creature in the game somewhere. I won't spoil it, but there's a creature that allows you to re-roll die too. So if you use them in conjunction, it can make him even more powerful.
Ooh, dang.
But we'll cross that road when we get to it.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I will, okay, so Mini-Man will then attack.
Yeah, so Mini-Man's just vibrating insanely fast, super high attack stat. He just blasts through the air, right through Raptor's ribcage, destroying that bird, and you've defeated the third boss.
Ho ho! Alright. Alright, so then I will take the 3 hearts and finish the level.
Awesome. So, okay, I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick, but take a second, check out your resources, decide your next move, and I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Housegrown says, "Who's this Mini-Man we keep hearing about?" So Mini-Man is one of the creatures I hatched it from an egg. You can see him here. Let's see, where is he? Here he is. Yeah, kind of hard to see, but yeah, he's Mini-Man. He's just this little dude.
I'm back.
Hey. All right, so yeah.
Who is Mini-Man? Who is Mini-Man? Mini-Man is a champion right now of defeating bosses.
He is. He's a beast. He's a monster right now. He's like demolishing everyone.
Ridiculously good rolls.
Indeed. Okay, so
in a way now, you might be kind of thankful that you hatched 2 Mini-Men.
Totally. Alright, I will, so in level 4, I see that, so we see this giant structure in the distance that touches the sky, which, that is pretty cool. But
yeah, and one cool detail too, if you notice, we are on the last level that's on this page, and if you look, that is off to the right now, where the other levels were on the left, to imply that we're kind of walking off towards that castle.
Oh, nice.
Little subconscious details to aid the experience.
Cool. Like, Havel says, damn, 10 times the die roll, that's OP. Wait, for what? What are you looking at?
He's talking about Mini-Man's ability.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hobblescrones, I'm curious what you mean that on average his attack is going to be 45, because aren't all the die rolls equal? Or maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it should in theory be an equal chance of it landing on any side, I would imagine.
Yeah. I I don't know. Either way, I will not tolerate this mini-man slander.
So, yeah, so I'm going to use a bait and capture Kiwi Bird.
Kiwi Bird is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what we got. All right, and then I'm going to get the bombs and the pills and finish the level. So let's see, we got Habelscrone says, well, look, it's 10 times a die roll. A die roll could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Average of those numbers, 3.5 times 10 plus 10 starting A is an average of 40. I don't know, man. My mind is too tired to follow this math. Let me see. 10 times the die roll.
Well, that's not the average of those numbers. It's the mean of those numbers, right?
Oh,
or
yeah.
the median.
Yeah.
You're right. It is the median of those numbers, but in terms of probability, each side is equal.
Mm-hmm. It's not mini-man slander. It's mini-man appraisal.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You're good. Habelscrones, thank you for thinking analytically about the game. This is very much a strategy game, and I think that is awesome. Also, median and average are not the same thing, right?
Not exactly. Yeah, they're similar, but
yeah, they're similar, but I know. I corrected myself. I was talking about the median.
Yeah.
Yeah, mean and average are the same. But either way, this is not statistics with creatures. This is stranded with creatures.
Yeah.
So let's get back in.
All right. So, yeah, let's see. I'll get my bombs. I got 3 bombs, so that brings me up to 5. And I get 3 pills. Let's see what pill does. Pill. Erase this item to permanently increase a creature's AD or S by 5. Only 1 pill can be used per creature. All right, and I've got 3 of them. Wait, why did I write 5? Let's fix that.
Habelsgren says, statistics with creatures, the educational spinoff. So something that I think is really cool about that is that with a game like this, you are forced to think critically and think in terms of statistics, even if they're pretty simple. And just, keeping track of the defense and the stats mentally in your head is a little bit of a brain challenge. And I think that this game is almost educational, just in the sense that you have to think critically. And that's kind of one of the cool things about paper games is it's much like how reading a book is going to engage your senses more than watching a movie, because you're kind of plugging in things with your brain. And so not only are you doing that with the rules when you're playing a paper game, you're also doing that with the action that's going on. When I'm taming that kiwi bird, I'm actually imagining my player throwing that carrot at this little bird chirping around this meadow where we are right now, plains, I mean. And so I think that it's cool because it's almost like a middle ground between a book and a video game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And paper computer games too is the imagination aspect of that to the max, because the focus is on how are you going to shape it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you seem pretty good at that. At that imagination aspect. It would be interesting to see if you ever made a paper computer game, what that would be like. But
yeah. Thank you.
Anyway, hey, it's H&B Tiger. How's it going, H&B?
What's up?
But yeah, so let's see.
Zach, would it be too late to add my face cam to the stream?
No. I mean, well, if you want to, yeah.
I think that might be cool. I think it might help spice it up a little.
All right, if you can get your camera started, sure.
Yeah. Okay, it's working.
Alrighty. Let's Okay, this is showing the wrong. Hold on a second. This is showing the wrong. Thing. What is that?
What's up, HMB Tiger? Halbestrons, what you said there is so facts. And that's part of what I love about paper games. Because, obviously I'm like very inspired by Pokemon, but one of the things I can never stomach about those games is like having to play through the hand holding in the beginning phases of the game when you've played it a million times versus paper games where you know the outcome, you can skip past it. Because like, in a way, once you've played this game, the entire level 1 you can skip. What's up? The entire level 1 can be skipped because you know how it's going to end for the most part. So what you said is facts, and that's also why I love paper games.
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah. HB says Zach recorded a new video and I'm editing it right now. Yes, that is true. That is also fact. Okay, so let's keep going. So, I think I've beaten level 4 too, technically, right?
Yeah, level 4's like a nice change of pace from the other levels, where you just have some powerful creatures. I call all the creatures powerful. I guess what I'm saying is you have some cool creatures, because they're also all cool, and some items for you to pick up without any bosses or enemies in sight as you make your way towards this castle where, let's just say, there might be some bosses and enemies. So it gives you a little chance to prepare and to muster up the strength to scale this obelisk.
Oh shoot! All right, well let's do it. So, we arrive at level 5 stairway. You've reached the cloud.
I got my copy here too, by the way, which I can now show. I'm playing through it as well, keeping an eye. I'm making sure that Zach doesn't cheat, of course.
Which I totally would otherwise.
Yeah. Using the PCG rules, making up.
Yeah, totally. All right. So there are lots more stairs and some more enemies. We're faced with an enemy right away this time.
Yeah, you're getting jumped by the Crow Man ×2, so I guess it's Crowmans. I would say canonically they're called Crowmans, because that goes more with kind of the goofy aesthetic of the game. So these things come in, they're kind of like the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz. I just realized now that's probably where I got this idea from.
Oh, cool.
They come in, you notice like a black feather or two fall out of the sky, and then the next thing you know, these like 6-foot tall crow human things jump you in your group.
Oh, shoot.
We should also decide before we continue which group you're entering this level with.
Yeah, let me think.
Oh yeah, and someone mentioned the music. We should keep the OST looping. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, we've got our crow mans, and yeah, I think I'm feeling like I'm gonna stick with the same group as before. I feel like that's working for me.
Miniman, Dungbug Miniman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that group's also cool because it's even like visually appealing. It's like you have the two little Miniman, like these moons orbiting around the Dungbug.
Yeah.
And maybe your character's sitting on top of the Dungbug as you scale.
Oh,
these
true. Could be. I like that. All right. So, I will. Let's see. So, who I'm gonna have out front? Yeah, I'll have Dungbug first. And I will, so Crowman has more speed by the look of it, so yeah, I guess Crowman goes first, but when I'm being attacked, I can use his power.
Yeah.
That Crowman can't use his power permanently.
And if you look, that is going to help you out if you get defeated.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so does he hit me?
Yeah, so now it's his turn. He has higher speed, so he's attacking first, and he's dealing 20 damage.
Okay, so Dungbug is down to 25, and then Dungbug will attack him for 15. So he's down to 10. And then it's Crowman's turn.
Crowman has 40 defense.
Oh, excuse me, I was looking at his attack for some reason.
He's a pretty bulky creature.
Yeah. Alright, so he's down to 25, right? Minus 10 would be 30. Yeah. Sorry?
You guys are both at 15 defense.
Okay. Wait, both at 15? This is the first time I'm attacking him, right? And he has 40, so that would put him at 25.
Oh, yeah, I thought Dungbug had 25 attack for a second.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm getting in the way of the calculations. Just forget I said anything.
You're good. All right, so he's got 25 defense, and then it's his turn again. So he attacks for 20, and Dungbug is down to 5. So then it's Dungbug's turn again, and Dungbug attacks for 15 again. And Crowman, we decided, was down to 25 defense, right? So now he's down to 5 also. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it.
With the longer battles where there's a lot of back and forth, I'll keep track with the pencil. Most of the time, you can just do it in your head to make it simple. But yeah, with these longer ones, as they get drawn out, you definitely want to keep track.
Okay, so you're going to keep track of that, or should I?
I'll keep track of it. That makes the most sense, I guess.
Okay. Okay, so then
I'll even do it on an old cover of the game to make it even more official.
Of course, nice.
So where are we at right now? Dungbug has how much defense, and Crowman has how much defense?
Looks like they both have 5.
Okay, sweet. And whose turn is it?
I believe it's Crowman's turn. So then Crowman is just gonna kill Dungbug by the look of it.
So Dungbug's out for the count, but thankfully, Crowman's power when defeating this creature gains 35A does not go off because we disabled it.
Heck yeah! So then we can just bring out Mini-Man safely and let them do their magic.
Now you guys will know that I'm not cheating with all of these 6s that Zach keeps rolling because I can do this.
Oh.
And what do you know? It's a 1. So, I don't know, maybe I was cheating, guys. It's up to you to decide.
The world may never know.
Alright, so Mini-Man gains just a measly 10 attack.
But today, that should do the trick. So, let's see. Who has more speed? Mini-Man has 25. So, Mini-Man has more. And he has now 10 attack, but that should be totally sufficient. So he will kill Crowman.
Alright, and then this is a group The next Crowman comes flying in from above.
And then, Miniman's power is only when entering, so that doesn't trigger again, right? So,
Yeah.
So, I guess, I will just attack Crowman.
Alright. He's now at, you have 15 attack, right? Yeah. So he's not 25 defense.
Okay.
And then he attacks back, and I believe Miniman has 20 defense. Yeah, so now we are in an unfortunate problem because Miniman's been defeated. The Crowman in this bout of rage powers up. His ability, when defeating, this creature gains 35 attack. So he now has 55 attack, 25 defense, and 20 speed.
Okay. So the only thing to do is to bring out the other Miniman and attack again.
Miniman 2.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be?
So.
And you rolled a 2.
Oh. At least it's.
Sorry, my dog is barking.
No worries.
I'll mute.
So that is 25, right? Okay. So if that is 25, then did I deal damage to him before? I think I did. So if I dealt 15, yeah, that's right. He's down to 25. So, oh, that's exactly enough. That's perfect. Hey, so Detuned Paper. Welcome back. So
it sounds like you made it by the skin of your teeth.
Looks like it. Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. This group has served you so well. I was thinking for sure that this was going to be the battle where you realized, like, okay, I need to go back and change something up.
Well, looks like that's not the case just yet.
Cool.
Let me be right back. I have to run to the bathroom.
Okay. In the meantime, chat, you have any questions for me while I'm here? Drop questions, y'all. Let's keep it lively. I guess I'll while Zach's gone, I'll use this time to predict what I think is going to happen. So he's going up against Ballguard next, who's a super defensive creature. I assume he's going to use the same group. Him and Dungbug. I think Dungbug has 10 speed. Let's double check. Yeah, Dungbug and Ballguard will be tied for 10 speed, so there's a chance Ballguard will get to use its ability first. So actually, in this case, we were talking about this earlier, you would actually want to go second because he won't be able to disable Ballguard's power, and Ballguard is going to gain 30 defense and just be a little bit bulkier, and I don't know if he'll be able to take him, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a 50-50 chance. I guess a fun fact about Ballguard, originally his power was when attacked, this creature loses 0D until the end of the turn, which was just way too overpowered because he already has 100 defense. So now the coin flip kind of adds some ambiguity, and he gains 30 defense, so it's not just a guaranteed survival. He's going to take maybe some damage if you have high attack. After that, there's some items and stuff. I don't know. I feel like going into all this is kind of just going to spoil what's about to happen. So hopefully Zach will be quick and we'll get back into it.
Hey, sorry about that.
Perfect timing.
Excellent. Okay, so, we've defeated the two, winged monkeys, or crowmans, as the case may be. Let's see, then we've got Ballguard. Oh, it's an enemy, so I have to fight him. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ballguard, I imagine if you look at the sort of spiral staircase, it's like you've just climbed up onto this platform, defeated these crowmen that jumped you. You're ready to continue up, but then down the stairs rolls this huge ball, and then out pops these little arms, and the face opens up, and then now you're facing off against the ball guard.
Oh man.
Also, you did have 2 of your creatures defeated, so before he attacks you, let's say, now's your chance to use hearts if you have any.
Yep, I will use 2 of them.
Alright, sweet.
I've got 2 hearts left after this. Okay, so, yeah, so I will... Let's see. What happens if both creatures have equal speed?
You flip a coin to determine the first, and I can always do that with the die. So who's gonna enter first?
Dungbug.
Dungbug, sweet. Tied speed, and 2, which I'm saying is heads, of course, because it's even, so you get to go first.
Alright, so, so my power is only when attacked, right? So, So I have to attack first, so I'll attack him.
Alright. Ballguard has his when attacked power.
So he flips a coin. And
and then he gains even more defense if it's heads.
Yeah.
It was a 3. Today is your lucky day. He does not get that 30 defense.
Alright. So,
so you attack, dealing your, he has 15 attack, right? Alright, you bring him down to 85 defense.
Alright. So...
This battle is going to have a lot of back and forth. I might just run through it really quick.
Okay.
So, Ballguard has 85 defense, and Dungbug now has 35 defense. You attack again. Ballguard's at 70.
So wait, when he attacks me, I use my power, right?
Well, it doesn't matter because he already used his power. So
oh, he can only use it one time?
All the powers, unless they're active, are one time.
Okay, that's right. Okay. So then that...
Where was that? You're at 25.
That makes Ballguard a lot less frightening than I thought he was.
Yeah, if that power was active, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Ballguard's already a really subversively good creature. Okay, you're at 15. You attack again. He's at 40. He attacks again. You're at 5. You attack again. He's at 25. And then, boom, your Dungbug's defeated, but Ballguard has just 25 defense left.
Okay. So then I'll bring out Miniman. And Miniman has 25 speed. And...
Well, Miniman, when entering power, let's first apply it. Another 6. This Miniman's back. He was slandered by the chat for being overpowered. And you know what? He's proving your point.
All right, so, yeah, let's attack him for 65.
Yeah. So, completely obliterates him. Second enemy's down. I also just realized too, Miniman kind of looks like a tiny Ballguard.
Yeah, he really does.
So it's kind of like he just got defeated by like an embryonic form of him. So that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by how well this group is performing. I think that the Mini-Man strategy, the Mini-Men, this is another dilemma. Mini-Mans, they're really good. I think maybe having 3 of them might be your next step if you go back and get more eggs.
Oh, totally, yeah. Oh my gosh. Just need to...
Alright.
Habel says Miniman is my hero.
I'll use the bathroom too. I've been drinking this green tea and it's just like making me pee like crazy.
I hear you. Habel says Miniman is my hero. When I grow up, I want to shrink down and become Miniman. Right there with you. Alright, so let's figure out what my strategy is going to be moving forward. So we've already beaten Ball Guard. We get some more items. That's just bait and 2 more eggs. Then we've got Ethereal Lizard. If the opposing creature's power is active, this creature gains 10 ADS. But none of my creatures have active powers. So, right? None of them are active, right? Yeah. None of these creatures...
Come back.
Hey, welcome back. So yeah, none of my creatures have active powers. So, alright.
You might want to heal Dungbug just to have more fighting power.
Yeah, totally.
So how many hearts do you have left, by the way?
After healing Dungbug, I have 1.
Alright, sweet. I've been saying that too much. I should have better diction. Alright.
Alright, and I'll get the 3 baits. So that puts me at 8. I'll get the 2 eggs. Alright, and let's fight Ethereal Lizard. I'm ready. I'm gonna bring this guy down.
Alright. So here's a cool detail. So you notice you're continuing up the stairs, you reach another platform, and you hear like a weird kind of like that electronic car backing up noise. You know, that kind of like it's like a very weird kind of dissonant chord. You hear this kind of hovering sound behind you, and you turn around and the ball guard that you just defeated sucks back up into a little ball form, and he's floating up into the sky. And around from the corner of the stairs emerges the Ethereal Lizard as the ball guard turns into one of those balls of its tail.
Ooh, shoot.
That's the lore
cool.
there. The
Nice.
secrets.
I like it. That's cool. Alright. Well. So,
Who will you lead with?
well, Dungbug, I feel like his ability doesn't really matter that much here, because, because Ethereal Lizard's power only matters if one of my creatures is active, and none of their abilities is active. So, if I lead with Miniman, he has a 50-50 chance of going first, but do I really care if he goes first? Because, well, yeah, I do. Because if Ethereal Lizard goes first, he one-shots him.
There is a way, just to give you a little hint, there's a way you could guarantee that you go first.
Let's see. Does one of my... Okay. I could use a pill to permanently increase my creature's speed. And I can only increase 1 stat on him.
Yep. One pill per creature. You don't want them to actually, never mind. I probably shouldn't make that joke on this channel.
Alright, I will, yeah, I guess logically the best move is for me to give a Miniman a pill, boost his speed to guarantee going first, hope I get a high roll, and then hit him for as much as I can.
Yep. Sounds like a good plan. I'm still astounded at how well this group is performing. You can also, the pills are, as you can see, like a very good resource. You could use your other pill on your second Miniman, or you could save it because you might need to change up your group soon. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess I'll save it for now.
Okay.
Alright, so one of my mini-man has 5 more, has +5 speed.
I want to ask a quick question. How are you liking this game as compared to Detune World?
Interesting.
There's less freedom with the exploration, but I'm curious what your take is on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely less exploration, less freedom with the exploration. So that's one thing. But I feel like I like the whole powers thing. Like that makes the combat, a little bit like more interesting than it was in Detune World. So I guess I don't know. I mean, like I feel like both of them are a very similar experience to each other. Like they both, are fun in a similar way, but I feel like they both kind of have different benefits and drawbacks. It's hard to find one that's like clearly better than the other. It also has been a few years since I played Detuned World, so it's hard to like get into the nitty gritty of it, But yeah, definitely cool so far though. It feels like another Detuned World kind of game, It still has a similar flavor thing.
There's less domestic terrorism though.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Certainly less domestic terrorism.
Although actually, it's funny I say that because maybe this is just something that something I feel that always will manifest in my work in some way. In Stranded with Creatures too, there's something more reminiscent of that kind of like the anti-establishment sort of vague statements. I don't think any of my games are really made to make statements, but there's that vague theme.
Oh, interesting.
This game's theme is more along the lines of like, okay, I'm in a mysterious land, and things are just a little bit twisted.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. What am I? Well, yeah. So I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna like guarantee that I go first. I'll use Mini-Man's ability. So let's roll that.
4.
All right. Could have been worse.
Not too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mini-Man's now at what's his base attack? 10. He's at 50 attack.
Okay. Wait. It's 5.
Okay, so 45 attack. 10 defense.
20.
20 defense and 25 speed.
Yep.
Damn, I thought I knew my creatures better than this. I'm a terrible father.
It happens to the best of us.
45, 20, 25, going up against 20, 75, 20. So like you said, you go first. It looks like you're going to be in for perhaps another easy victory. 45 to his 70, you're leaving him with 30 defense. 20, 30, 20 are now his stats. He attacks back, defeating your first Mini-Man. So who's coming out next?
Dungbug. Because I figure Dungbug will survive at least one hit, and therefore he can get Ethereal Lizard's defense down a little bit more. So yeah, let's do Dungbug first.
All right, Dungbug enters. 15 attack, 45 defense, 10 speed. And then Ethereal Lizard attacks for 20, so now you got 25 defense. You attack, bringing him down to 15, and then the rest is plain to see. He attacks, you're at 5, and then your Dungbug, your most loyal creature up to this point, attacks one more time, and you've officially cleared the level 5 boss using the same group for level. This makes me want to make I want to make like fan art for like a game character where the character has the 2 mini-men in the sprite hovering.
Yes. That'd be awesome.
Kind of awesome.
I don't know if that counts as fan art if you make it, since like.
Well, it's canon to the game, but it's fan art of you if I was.
Yeah. True.
But that'd be pretty funny. And also, it would if you playing through the game right now was like a chronological, or I guess no, because the character from this game is who you play as in the second game.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say that it would be like as if this character you're playing now was then like an NPC, but that'd be too much.
Oh man. Yeah, that'd be awesome though. But yeah.
So now here.
What's uh-oh?
There's an obstacle at the end of the level.
Oh. And I'm fresh out of bombs.
Yeah, so here you would have to just backtrack and grab one.
And there's one.
There's really no consequence for doing that. That aspect of the game is just for like if you wanted to like challenge yourself, like okay, I'm only going to use items.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going to use what I can pick up. You know.
Wait a second. There's there's bombs right at the end of level 4. I don't think I used any bombs this level. Why do I not have any?
Maybe you just forgot to pick them up.
That is probably the case. All right, let me grab those now.
The pills were more eye-catching because they were new.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so then I have 3 bombs, in which case I will demolish that obstacle.
Sweet, and now you can cross off level 5.
Alrighty.
One thing we should take a little break to check out is if you've completed any of the other challenges, because a lot of those early ones kind of just happen incidentally.
Yeah, let's see. Defeat Hornhog using only 1 creature. Did I pass Hornhog already?
No. Actually, this gives me an idea because we're about to play the final level of the main game. Right now would be a cool time to go back and knock out a challenge.
Yeah.
There's some interesting ones on there.
Oh yeah, I just bypassed Hornhog entirely. No wonder. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Complete level 1 without using bombs. Ooh, I did not do that. Create 3 groups that utilize different strategies. Oh man, I only have 2.
I think you have done that by now, because I think you've had 3 groups.
Have I? Well, I started out with the Sea Jelly, the Crustacean Lord, and the Dung Bug, and then later I traded them out for the 2 mini-men. So that's just 2, right?
So I guess you've only had 2 groups. That'd be a cool challenge to do right now, because you could look and reflect on your current collection of creatures and see what might be cool.
Do I have to actually use it?
No, you don't. It just says to create it.
Okay.
You don't have to use it, and also you have 2 more eggs that you picked up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, might as well hatch those, right? There's not much use for eggs other than hatching them.
You can cook them and eat them. It's not written in the rules directly, but you could use them as hearts.
Oh. Actually,
I just made that up, but that would be cool.
Oh, well, if I can use them as hearts, I think I'm gonna use them as hearts.
That would be a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Because the bomb also has 2 uses.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, totally.
I'll throw that in the sequel, or I'll retcon it into this game.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll keep them to use as hearts then, because I feel like I need more hearts.
Okay. And honestly, Miniman's probably the best of the small. Actually, Miniman's the second best of the small egg creatures. I would say that number 1, Dewdrop, is a little bit better. Dewdrop is very cool. Dewdrop is extremely useful because he can heal but he can bolster the defense of your other creatures.
Oh, nice.
Okay, but either way, you're keeping them as hearts.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's see. Defeat the creatures on level 4 as if they were in a group. Oof. I feel like... Well, defeat Hornhog using only one creature should be an easy one to do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, or maybe not actually. Well, actually, let's see. Hornhog is 65, 60, 10. And when attacking, it has an active power. When attacking, flip a coin every time this creature attacks. If tails, the opposing creature loses 0D. So... Wait, so it's just like...
His power actually makes him worse, because he has an insanely high attack stat.
Oh.
So, I imagine what that is it's kind of just like this big, dumb, kind of oafy creature that like lunges its horn at you haphazardly and then has a good chance of missing because it's so stupid.
Gotcha. So he's just got a full 50% chance of not hurting you at all.
Yes.
Okay. So, So it's really a die roll as to whether I can beat him with Miniman. Unless I want to use one of my other creatures. Let's try with Miniman. Let's do the die roll. Let's see if that works.
Alright. So Miniman enters. You rolled a 6.
Oh, no way.
Jeez, Miniman's not supposed to be this good.
Alright, I will, so he has 65 attack then. I will demolish Hornhog.
Awesome, and you complete the challenge.
Alright, sweet.
I think maybe I need to go back and lower Miniman's speed or something.
Yeah,
Maybe in a future update, but for now, this is the unpatched, broken Miniman.
Yes. Alright, so then what next? Can I complete level 1 without using bombs? Well, let's see how, like, alright.
I think you got that one easy, and it would also give you a chance to pick up some more bombs organically.
True. Okay, so yeah, let's do that, and I'll try for challenges 3 and 4. Like, I'll because we haven't tried playing level 1. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong page. I haven't tried level 1 using my current team, so let's do that, and then I'll create the third group that utilizes another strategy, and then
shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let me, so on level 1, I just need to beat 2 sea jellies. Wait, no, I actually don't have to...
They're not even, they're passive.
Yeah, okay, so I just need to beat Flamingus. Attack 15, defense 20... And he only gains 10 ADS when he defeats one of my guys. So Dungbug is gonna be. Oh yeah, that's gonna be easy. I'll attack him with Dungbug.
Dungbug, we don't even need to run the math for this.
Yeah.
You can see he's guaranteed to defeat it.
Sweet. And then I get 2 more bombs, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, this challenge is definitely more challenging if the player is doing it like at the first available opportunity, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But either way, there's what's cool about it. There's no rule against just like beating the game and then doing the challenges.
Yeah. Alrighty, so then I will attack Crustacean Lord with my Dungbug. Crustacean Lord has more speed, so he goes first.
And he uses his power.
Ooh. 20d times the number of creatures in its group. So that's 20 times 3. So
60.
Oof. But now he's used that power, so he can't use it again, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's bring out Miniman. Let's see if the chance gods continue to favor me.
All right. 4, not bad.
All right. Not bad at all. That's a one-hit kill.
Yep. Sweet.
All right. So
You've now just decimated that shore where you were once a struggling castaway. Now and just destroyed the ecosystem.
Totally. Obliterated it. Alrighty.
Yeah. And that's I think you just completed like 3 challenges now, right?
Yep. So I just have to create another group that utilizes different strategies. So what else do I have? I have Catso and Kiwi Bird. Let's see. Catso is that when I hatched? No. Catso is over... Okay, yeah, there's Catso. Opposing creature uses 25d times the number of times this creature's been attacked. Catso is pretty dope. And then what else can I use? We have Kiwi Bird. If the opposing creature is a boss creature, it loses 40d. And so I have Catso, I have Kiwi Bird, I've still got my Mini-Men, and I've got Sea Jelly. 20d times... Okay. So I could say my new group is Catso, Kiwi Bird, and Crustacean Lord. I don't have a whole lot of other creatures I can choose from. I'm choosing almost everything that isn't in my group.
Ever since you figured out the Mini-Man exploit. I think because that Mini-Man hatching itself came down to a die roll. And so if you had hatched like the embryo creature, which literally it's like a joke, it has 5 attack, 5 defense, 5 speed, no power. Like if you had hatched 2 of those, the game would be completely different. So it's like when I was joking earlier about like quantum paper game, it really is like there's so many different
permutations
ways you can end up. Like Yak had a really hard time with like some of the later levels where you're just kind of like mini-manning through them. But it's cool. I like seeing different stories unfold.
Heck yeah.
And I feel like it also, you've now developed like an appreciation for this random creature that some players might go through the whole game and never even know is in the game.
Yeah, totally. Though on the flip side, there's probably a bunch of creatures that I don't even know are in the game, so I guess everyone has their own experience.
Yeah. What's cool too is it's like if you were to take this same team and then apply it to like a PvP context, it would be a completely different boat ride or a completely different train ride. Because like then you're looking at groups of different creatures where their powers can play off of each other and things like that.
Yeah, totally.
Either way, though, I think this group is sick.
Yeah. Okay, so does that count as a group that utilizes a different strategy? Kiwi Bird, Catso?
That one's in the eye of the beholder. If you think so, then yes.
All right. Yeah, I will say the strategy is that it's a team full of creatures that multiply their damage, and hopefully putting them together will multiply damage even more. Like, I don't know, build off each other.
I'm trying to think if there's any thematic tie between a crab, a cat, and a bird, but I can't think of one.
I mean, I'd say they're all animals, but that's probably most things in this.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like making like thematic teams that are not always the best, like strategically or anything, but I do really enjoy that. Like I recently played through with like a bird team where I had like kiwi bird and then flamingus and then raptor on top.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the Goldilocks scenario of birds was pretty cool.
Yeah. Random
flamingo sucks though.
Excuse me. Out of a random curiosity, so when you make Stranded with Creatures 2, will there be like is like the library of creatures, like is every creature from this game gonna be in the second game?
Here's the really cool thing. So it's going to have 50 new creatures, which is going to bring the total up to 100. I'm almost done designing them. I have 38 done.
Oh, nice.
There will be 50 new creatures. Not a single creature from this game will repeat in that game, but the battle system is going to be exactly the same. The only things that are going to be changing are the peripheral aspects of the game. So all of these creatures are compatible with that game. And spoilers, the way that this game ends, you do find a little raft that you can escape from the island with. And because of that part of the story, you're able to take one non-boss, non-enemy creature from this game and take that to start the next game. Because this game doesn't have, or this series doesn't give you like a starter creature like a lot of these kinds of games do. It's just like, you go into the wild and tame, which I think is very cool.
Yeah.
But you will have the option, because it'll be like, if you have played Stranded with Creatures 1, you can transfer over a creature like so, and then start the game with, an old pal. Like, for example, you could bring Mini-Man.
That's awesome.
And that's something that's only able to work because the creatures don't level up in this game, because it's the environments that level up. So, since Stranded with Creatures 2 is open world and you could go straight to the like hardest level of the game right off the bat, it's cool that you could start with a creature from this game.
Totally. So, so you can bring any creature from this game into it, but only one, and that's the only way to import creatures.
Well, at the start of the game, only one. Later in the game, there's a mechanism where you're then able, basically, you hijack a cruise ship, and then you're able to bring all of your creatures.
Oh, sweet. That's cool.
So a few other things too about Stranded with Creatures 2. We talked about how the exploration is going to be way cooler in open world in terms of the order of levels, and also in terms of the structure of the levels with different routes. Another thing is this. I would describe this as the style is being amped up. This game, I imagine it as like sort of like, Alpha Minecraft, where it almost thrives on having kind of space for the player to imagine what's going on. That's sort of the focus of this game. Stranded with Creatures 2, I wouldn't say that it's like more story oriented, but there's more characters and the levels are more unique as opposed to a lot of these where they're just kind of nature. For example, there's a level that's an ancient factory. There's a level where you're abducted by aliens and it takes place above the earth. You see it down below. There's a level that is an abandoned submarine at the bottom of the ocean. There's what else is cool? I'm gonna look right now. I should know this because I obsess over these things, but I'm gonna double check. Yeah, there's a level with like a windmill, and then there's that cruise ship where you board a cruise ship thinking that you're going to be able to escape this archipelago, but in reality it ends up being one of those like elite councils, kind of an Illuminati thing, where you then have these 4 human bosses with their own groups of creatures that are like, super evil, super creepy. So the game's just amping up the style department a lot now that this game has kind of established the vibe.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm sorry for ranting about that.
You did. It's cool.
Thanks.
Habelscrone says you should add microtransactions to Stranded.
I saw that. Yeah, I tried putting this on Patreon, but I figured I just want people to play it.
Yeah. Cool. mail $2.99 and get a note card with 10 bombs drawn on it. Oh man. Alrighty, so I will what am I doing? Alright, so I completed that challenge, right?
Yeah.
Alright. I think I'm good with challenges for now. Let's see if we can beat the game.
Yeah.
So the final wait, is level 6 the final level or the final of the non-secret
final
levels?
level of the main campaign, and then from here on out, there's the bonus game, which I did kind of arbitrarily to make the game feel bigger. Because we're only actually like about a third of the way through all of the gameplay.
Okay.
And what I'm very excited for is you've been having a super easy time with your mini-man strategy. I don't know actually how this level is going to play out right now, which is exciting. But I do know how some of the later levels are going to play out, and I think it's going to be crazy.
Interesting. So, let's see. All right. So, yeah, let's start level. Oh, did I use a bomb to blow up that obstacle? I don't think I did. Let's actually do that. All right. So I blow up the obstacle. I beat level 5, and then I'm on level 6. Sorry?
I said, yeah.
Oh, okay. A distorted voice emanates from the highest platform. Uh-oh.
Now's where you really got to have the music playing,
yeah.
just to vibe it up.
Why did that stop?
Is there a way you could just loop the video?
Yeah, I did turn that on. So it should be looping. I don't know why it isn't. Hold on. Huh. So it is still playing. It's just not making any sound. That's weird. Let me refresh the page, maybe? Alright, there we go. I hear it again.
My face cam seems to have disappeared, though.
You should be back.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Oh, we got 4 viewers.
Ooh.
How is everybody? I didn't know that we were famous.
Oh. Nice. Well, thanks for watching, folks. So, yeah,
You tuned in at the perfect time. We're on the final level, sort of.
The very last one. Can I beat the main campaign? Let's find out. My team has gotten me this far without needing to, like, change it out. Let's see if we can make it past the finish line. Alright, so let's see. We've got a pillar guard. So, alright, we're gonna have to fight him.
Yeah, if you remember those pillars from the meadow level way back, those things are actually dormant pillar guards. And now here at the source of where they spawned originally, you encounter their active form.
Oh man. Those pillars always had it coming to them. Alright.
Now I get to watch you struggle.
Alright, let's see. So, low speed, but a lot of defense. Alright. Visibility.
Actually, you could play this well.
Let's see. The opposing creature loses 25D. So how does... Okay, so if I use Dungbug, how does this play out? So, Dungbug's ability is when attacked, and Pillar Guard's ability is also when attacked. So if I play Dungbug, he has more speed, so he'll go first. So Dungbug will actually attack Pillar Guard first, and then...
And he'll suffer from having more speed.
Yeah, so then he'll lose 25. But then it'll be Pillar Guard's turn, and Dungbug's power will come into effect, in which case, Dungbug will die, but he will have disabled his... Well, but it doesn't matter, though, because...
Yeah.
Yeah, So maybe what I want is... Ooh, my mini-men aren't going to be able to survive this.
Yeah, I think your group is guaranteed to get stomped. Finally!
Hold on, let me see if I can find a way out of this.
In a way, I'm a game master in the past tense because I already made all these levels, so I'm like, okay, finally, a challenge.
But Pillar Guard can only use this ability once, and only when attacked. So I could hypothetically send out Mini-Man first, and then he uses the ability on Mini-Man and kills him.
Yeah.
So Mini-Man never gets to hit him, but then I can send out Dungbug, and then I can probably take him down with the remaining 2 guys.
Okay, that's really cool. Let's see how it plays out.
All right. So yeah, we start
Pillar
with
Guard clock in. Pillar Guard's clocking in at 25 attack, 80 defense, and 5 speed. And you're sending in. You're first sending in a Mini-Man.
Yep.
Okay, so Mini-Man has higher speed. He attacks. Of course, we know that he's guaranteed to get knocked out by the recoil. So, Pillar Guard, when attacked, Mini-Man loses 25. He's defeated. Now, Dungbug enters at 15, 45, and 10, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
And so you attack. You bring him down to 65. He attacks, bringing you down to 20. You attack, bringing him down to 50. And then he defeats your Dungbug, and now you're left with a Pillar Guard with 50 defense, and your Mini-Man enters.
Alright, let's roll. Hopefully he gets high.
Shall we say a prayer?
Alright, Zuvak, man. Gotta help me.
This is the roll that counts the most, I think.
Yeah.
6!
Oh, no way.
So Mini-Man charges up like crazy, and then just shatters the Pillar Guard into a million pieces of quartz.
Yes.
And you defeat him.
My team has not failed me yet.
I am impressed. Even I thought that was a lost cause.
All right.
Cool.
So
although your team right now, all you have left alive is a Mini-Man. So remember to use hearts.
Yeah. Yes. And I have only one of those and 2 eggs, so I can use the eggs, I guess.
You can't change your group during a level, though. You would have to restart.
Yeah, but I mean, like, use the eggs as hearts.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we were doing that. That's fine by me, and that perfectly heals your group.
Yeah.
Nice. Good item management.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess for now I'll use 1 heart and 1 egg. So I have 0 hearts and 1 egg left. And, do I want to try to tame Flying Pig? This creature gains 10d every time it attacks. It has 70 every time it attacks. That is pretty wild. Let's see, what is...
It's also adorable.
So, yeah. So, Flying Pig. Man, when pigs fly.
I thought it was a cool themed group. It could be like kind of rotund creatures. You could do Ball Guard, Flying Pig, and Katsuda.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's see. Precursor. So he's got an active ability. When attacked, if the opposing creature uses a power when attacking, this creature gains 20A and 20S. But S doesn't matter during a battle, does it? It only matters for who goes first.
Well, it matters because if you then defeat a creature, another one will enter, and then your speed counts against that.
True. Oof, that's pretty vicious.
I didn't even realize we were talking about Precursor. This is the final boss. Notice, Precursor FB. And this creature is essentially like a god. This creature is basically an eldritch being of sorts that is perched atop this giant obelisk that is responsible for some of the phenomenon going on here, some of these strange creatures.
Oh man. Yikes. Alrighty, so what's my strategy going to be to... Oh, obviously I want to bring out Dungbug first, and wait, but will Dungbug die? His attack is only 25, so no. So Precursor would go first. He would attack.
Let's just run it. Let's just run it out since we're gonna calculate it.
Okay. So yeah, like
so you're
Dungbug
first.
Yep.
Okay. 15, 45, 10. Okay. Precursor goes first. Thank God you disabled this ability. Although I guess your other creatures have when entering power, so it actually doesn't really matter in this case. But either way, disabled it. Maximum, straight best move. If it was like a chess computer, it's probably best move. You're down to 20 defense. You attack, bringing him down to 135. He attacks, defeating Dungbug.
All right. So now all we have to do is just get like 2 straight 6s.
Well, okay, all right. You rolled a 2 on the first one.
All right. Well, let's send him out.
You're rocking 25 attack, and then you guys are tied for speed, right?
The first mini-man actually has +5 speed.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So you go first. You attack, bringing him down to 110. And then he attacks, defeating Miniman. Now your next one comes in. This one is tied for speed, right?
Yeah.
Let's roll here. And it was a 3. So your Miniman's defeated, and your group has finally been KO'd.
Oh. All right, so my team got me right up to the final boss, but couldn't make it over the finish line.
So you could try to brute force it and try again for better rolls, or you could go back and plan out something else.
I mean, that flying pig is tempting, but I want to get over the finish line with my core team. I'm gonna try again.
Okay, I respect it. So. Let's see. I'll just go from the top because I don't remember what his defense was at after Dungbug. So he attacked. Here, I'll write it out so I don't get lost.
Hold on, sorry. Played a different music. Let me fix that. I thought it was on loop.
All right, just let me know when I should start.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. He attacks your Dungbug, bringing you down to 20 and disabling his ability. You attack, bringing him down to 135. He attacks, defeating Dungbug. Your fast Miniman enters. And this time you roll a 5.
Ho-ho!
Okay. 55, so then you attack, bringing him down to 80. Right? Yes. Bringing him down to 80. And then he attacks, defeating your first Miniman. So now your second one enters. They're tied for speed. Rolled an odd number again, and he defeats your Miniman.
Oh, man.
Alright, we might need to reconsider the strategy.
Dang.
It's up to you, though. It's your choice. I'm totally down to just keep brute forcing it. It's kind of funny.
Alright, you know what? Third time's the charm. If this doesn't work, we can try something else, but one more try.
And this time I remember, after your dung bug, he has 135 defense with his ability disabled.
Yeah. Okay.
So, fast Miniman enters. Let's roll a 6, please. 5 again.
Okay.
55, you bring him down to 80. He defeats you. Second Miniman, tied for speed. 2, you go first. We also, well, actually, technically, we should have done this first, but it doesn't matter because speed's not involved. But we roll for the entering attack always first before preparing speed. And you rolled another 5. So 55, and you go first. So what's 80 minus 55? He's down to 25, but then he knocks out Miniman. So actually, I think it's impossible for you to defeat it with this group.
But I was one hit away from doing it. If I had just gotten 2 6s.
That's true. That's true. If you had done 2 6s, so what is that? You have a 1 in 12 chance of winning each time.
Oh man.
So I mean, we did say 3 times the charm. I feel like for the sake of the stream, you should try a different strategy. But any other time, just do it 12 in a row and see if you get good.
Alrighty. Let's go tame Flying Pig.
Okay.
I will use a bait on Flying Pig.
All right. 3, it fails.
Okay, so alright, let's try again.
Remember too, you have access to all of the previous boss creatures and all of the previous enemy creatures that you've beaten.
Alright, so
sorry, it's my duty. I feel like I need to chime in. It's like I am short a lot.
That's cool. I'm totally gonna forget a lot of stuff, but yeah, I'll use another bait and try again.
Okay. 3.
Alright, so it's even to succeed, right? Alright.
Yeah.
Let's try once again.
5.
Alright, let's try once more. This is gonna be the 4th one, right?
5 again.
Oh man. Alright, let's do it again.
It makes sort of plausible sense because Flying Pig just is devouring these carrots and not even noticing it entertaining him.
Yeah. Alright, let's go for 5. Yeah.
Okay. 3. I promise I'm being truthful.
Alright, let's use my 6th bait.
How many more do you have?
I have 8 in total, and this will be the 6th one.
Okay. 3. The odds of this are insane.
I know, right? Alright, one more.
I'm gonna give this one like a good roll. Alright. It fell in my lap. Let's redo that. 6. There we go.
Whew. Alright. So I used... Was that 6 or 7 that I used?
That was the 7th one.
Alright, so I have 1 bait left. And I got a Flying Pig.
A very full Flying Pig.
Indeed.
Flying Pig with very good eyesight.
Alrighty. So yeah, let's see.
Be right back.
Alrighty. So, Alrighty.
We're back.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. All right. Let's put the same group, except I'll trade out the slow Miniman for Flying Pig. And let's fight Precursor again.
All right. Who are we leading with?
Still Dungbug.
Okay, so we can skip the calculations. Precursor's at 135 with no power. Now who's next?
Miniman.
Okay, let's see. I think you rolled so many bad rolls last time that this one has to be good. And it's a 2. Okay, 25. And this is your fast Miniman, so he goes first. Precursor's down to 110, and then he wipes out Miniman.
All right. So...
And now we're left with Flying Pig. So the speeds are tied. We rolled a 1, so Precursor's going first.
Okay.
He attacked, bringing you down to 45. You attack, bringing him down to 90. He brings you to 20. You bring him to...
But every time Flying Pig attacks, he gains 10D, right?
You're right. We gotta run this back. My bad. I forgot where we even slipped up. Should we just restart the battle?
All right.
I mean, Miniman got a bad roll anyway, so we're probably gonna have to. Let's restart.
All right.
Okay. Dungbug, Precursor.
Yeah.
135, no power. Miniman comes in. This time he's going to do you better because he's died so many times. I don't know if there's permadeath in this game, but if there is, it would happen right now. And you roll 5, so he's hanging in there. So we're rocking 55. You go first, bringing him down to 80. He knocks you out. And now, this time I'll do it correctly. We have Flying Pig versus Precursor. Also, Precursor went first last time, so maybe it was a good call to redo it. All right. 5 again, so Precursor goes first. You're down to 45, but this time you're going to be gaining that defense, as I mentioned, so you use your power. Flying Pig is up to 55 defense, and he brings Precursor down to 60 defense. He attacks you, bringing you down to 30. You, of course, gain that 10 defense. You're now at 40 defense. This is cool, because I imagine Flying Pig has this like heavenly aura that just kills him. Then you attack for 20. He's now at 40, so you are tied on defense with the final boss, using his kin, using this creature that spawned right before him. He attacks. You are at... Why am I not mathing right now? You're at 15. You bring him down to 20. 1 hit away from defeating him, and then... You gained 10 defense. You're at 25.
Oof.
So if I missed that calculation, you'd be done for. But you're at 25, which means you attack, he's at 20. Or, I mean, right? Yeah, you defeat him.
I defeat him?
Yeah. Successfully defeated the final boss.
Habelscron says, how am I the only one here? This is peak entertainment. Oh man, I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe we could, like, after the stream, we could, edit it. And
I'm definitely doing a stream highlights video.
Oh, sweet.
And I've also been needing to make a video on how to play the game, because there's, there can be confusion and stuff. This is the perfect opportunity, because it's not just going to be me talking at the camera, it's going to be you playing through it. So, yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Well, yeah, you just watched a pig kill God. So, Habelscrons, you were, dude. If that's got to have some biblical subtext right there.
Totally.
Yeah, some like kosher, like, damn. That was, I don't know. I probably just committed some forbidden sin, but you know what? You won. So good for you, Zach.
That's right. All right, so I beat the main campaign, but you said I'm only a third of the way through the full playable content, right?
Roughly, maybe closer to like 40%. But yeah, there's a lot more here.
Oh, dang. All right.
So I think, how much longer do you want to continue with the stream?
Yeah, I'm thinking this might be a good place to stop because I just beat the main campaign and...
Well, you have to pick up those 10 carrots, then you've beaten it.
Man, can I defeat the final challenge in the main campaign? Picking up those carrots.
Picking up the items. It's a lot of vegetables, dude.
Oh, I currently have 1 bait, so now I have 11.
Nice.
All right, I have beaten the castle, and yeah, I feel good. But we should, if you're down, we should do another stream to do the rest of the exotic content.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That was super fun, and there's a lot more, and there's parts that I definitely want to be like interacting with you while you play.
That'd be awesome.
Do you want to peek ahead really quick to like preview the next episode?
Sure. Well,
so of course you see at the bottom there's the exotic island. This is just like an extra large level. You can see it takes up 2 lines where the other ones are all 1. And here there's just a ton of cool creatures to check out.
Oh, wow.
And Dactylus at the end is one of my favorite creatures. I just did a spotlight video on him.
Oh, sweet.
He works kind of similarly to your mini-man in a way, except for it's just for the damage of 1 attack.
Roll a die, the opposing creature loses 10d times the number rolled. Oh, dang.
Yeah, but he also has better base stats, so he has more longevity in combat. And you can see you also get access to the giant eggs at this point, so that opens up some other stuff.
Ooh, sweet.
And then if we turn to the next page, bonus level 8, this one is, I feel like you'll like this one. It just gives me kind of like Zach vibes. This is the battle boat. So my stream's delayed. Are you on bonus level 8?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, Captain Nimbus, is sort of like this eccentric figure that sails around the sea collecting these rare creatures to sell them on the black market.
Oh.
But he's kind of crazed, and perhaps from his time alone at sea surrounded by nothing but these creatures. And he offers you a challenge where you complete a section of his level, and if you notice, the class of the creatures are P, which means prize creature, because if you can complete his level and defeat all the creatures, you can add these super powerful prize creatures to your collection.
Ooh, sweet.
Those guys are super cracked for PvP. And little Easter egg, if you notice, all these creatures have appeared in the game at some point, except for in section 4, there's an alien, Mr. Unidentified down there. And the cool thing about that is it's foreshadowing Stranded with Creatures 2, where there's going to be a bigger presence of these aliens.
Ooh,
because they come down. Since again, this game kind of takes place in the Bermuda Triangle, but something like that. It sort of adds to that vibe of like there's weird stuff going on, you know?
Yeah.
So that's bonus level 8. And then after that, or during this whole process, you're going to complete all the challenges. And then there's 2 secret levels once you get that key.
Ooh.
And I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil that.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Coming up next, bonus levels.
Heck yeah. Habblescrones asks, would it be acceptable if I try and make my own campaign in creatures as a fan-made add-on?
Absolutely not. Of course. Whatever you're feeling, just make sure that you know, give credit where it's due. If you use my sprites or something, drop a link. Drop a link to my channel anyways if you're going to do that. I think that'd be awesome to see. I'm also excited to just see you play it and check out the game because you seem to have a good grasp of the combat system.
Yeah, totally. That would be awesome.
Also, thank you for the kind words about the music. I really love how the music came out for this game. I think it meshes very well with the vibe.
Yeah, it really does.
Thanks.
Yeah, so yeah, this was awesome. Thanks so much for playing with me. This is cool.
Thank you so much for having me. I think this was a much more entertaining stream than our Detune World playthrough because I'm a little more little more comfortable in my own skin now. So that was awesome. You're a great hang, Zach. That was a very cool stream to do. And yeah, you think we'll schedule the next stream later, but maybe next week or something to make it sort of a series.
Yeah, it works for me. That'd be cool.
Awesome.
Right. Sweet.
This is D-Tune Paper signing out from my headquarters, and I'll see you guys back on my channel or next week if you're not subbed to me. But you should be subbed to me.
Sub to D-Tune Paper, guys.
All right. See you later. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, folks, and PCG later. I mean, he said his whole slogan, so I had to say mine, right? All right. Yeah. PCG later.